So I asked some of my past students opinions or thoughts on the 5-day microblading class and the refresher course. A lot of times when I'm teaching the 5-day, I feel like until you get on skin and until you see your own healed results, everything that we try and teach you just won't quite click until you see it on your own clients. Really, we gave them the good basics, they just didn't quite get it yet. So these 4 girls have all trained differently, different classes. They came back for the refresher course, and I just kind of want them to give you their input on if microblading was hard, if they felt like they had a good understanding for it. So Ty-Day, for instance, felt, I think, really insecure when she first left here.
Yeah, I feel a lot better. I honestly, when you're like first doing it, you're learning so much, and microblading is really hard.
It's really an advanced technique.
I feel like the foundation that she gave us was very good. Like, we knew going in like exactly like what to expect, you know, the things we shouldn't do. But it's always different when you get
on your own.
On your own. There's nobody there to say or correct or in any sort of way. I am the type of person that I might be a little bit on the slower side learning, or maybe I need to rehash it, learn it again. And so microblading for me personally, it took me a little bit to kind of get it. But all of the foundation, everything that you taught us, we come back and you teach us the same thing, but it's like now it enters.
Yeah.
After yeah. So I mean, I think it's amazing. To me, it was like.
I think no matter what, like how much you learn, whether it's an 8-hour or a 5-day or 2-month, you never feel ready on your own. It's like, do you ever feel ready for kids? You never feel ready, but you just, I like to tell my students, if you don't go home and get on skin the next day,
that is so
you
true.
may not ever get on skin.
Yeah,
like,
that's so true.
You have to do it while you're feeling that rush, that like excitement, that if you wait a week or 2 weeks, you start to forget, you get really nervous, you kind of freak yourself out. I think it's important to just dive in.
Go for it.
I do.
Yeah. For me, it was really intimidating, and I would go home and things would look okay, like on latex, but when I got in there with the person, it wasn't the same, and I couldn't figure out what it was that I was doing wrong. So being able to come back and train with her again, that was really nice, because she knew, I mean, she could, I'm sure, remember where I started. She knows what she taught me. And she was able to exactly pinpoint what it was for me. And for me, it was just the way I held my tool with my stretch.
Well, and like some of the things that we teach again in the refresher course, I've heard every single one of these girls be like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean, oh?
It's an aha
you
moment.
Knew that. We taught you that. But
Yeah.
you forget a lot of what you learn in those 5 days. It's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Christina, what about you?
Yeah, I feel the same way. So when I first came, I was very, very nervous. Again, there was a lot of learning. And when we started doing it on a client, I kind of got scared. But Patty would back me up and say, either sink or swim. She gave me a lot of courage. This time when I came and I took the course again, it really clarified, everything synced in. And I'm not scared, and I'm very confident that I can go back and work with more confidence and a lot of information. The best school ever. I am so lucky that I landed on this academy. Patty is amazing. She will, anytime you have a question, she will take her time, answer it. Even if she stays with you an hour, she will make sure that you understand it and comfortable with it. Anytime we have a problem, we text her, she immediately answers. So she's so much there to have our back. So you are in good hands, please. This is the best academy ever.
Yeah.
Well,
greatest teacher. And I did not get paid for this.
Yeah. To touch base on that too, though, like even if you didn't come back for the refresher, let the girls know, like, don't give up.
True, don't give up.
Don't
Because everybody feels frustrated. Everybody feels lost.
True.
So if you can't make it back for a refresher course, don't give up. Reread
That's right.
what we give you. We put videos out. Like, just don't stop.
Yeah.
If you allow yourself to quit, you'll probably quit.
Yeah.
No, don't take yourself to that direction that I'm gonna quit. It's not for me. Please, I'm one of them. But I was practicing every single day, at least a minimum of 4 hours.
And I can tell.
And
I mean, you only trained a month ago or 2 months ago?
November, the end of November.
And
Yeah.
when she left, we were pretty confident she was going to struggle to get on skin. She came back this time, like, blew my socks off. So practicing makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sarah, what about you?
I'm the kind of person that learns hands-on. So if I'm not actually physically doing something, I'm not going to learn it. You could show me until you're blue in the face, but I'm not going to learn it until I'm hands-on. So what I struggled with was stretching the skin correctly, because if you don't have a tight grip on the skin, you're not going to get clean, crisp strokes. So I did a lot of research before looking for Patty's school. Probably about 3 months. I flew up here, and as soon as I got here, I thought, yes, I've spent the money, I've chosen the right school. Patty sat with me and really spent time with me one-on-one, which is what I needed. I went home and I was faced with all these different skin types. So we had this really great group where you could ask any questions and they would always get answered. So I really loved that. Every time I would come back, I would go, oh, okay, that clicks. I learned this. And I've actually come up here, probably this is my 4th trip now. And I've learned so much along the way. So if you really want to invest your money into something good, I would suggest coming to 3D Browse.
And now you're working. Like, you're killing it.
Yeah, so a little quick story. I went from doing a job that I really just didn't feel on my heart was what I wanted to do. I was a housing inspector for 2 years, crawling through attics and all that stuff, and I hated it. Every day I would go to work and go, oh,
I cannot picture you doing that.
I know, this is not what
I was like,
it was a work environment with a lot of men, and they would always tell me, talk down to me, oh, you don't know what you're doing, and so I just got bored of it after a couple of years, and then I thought, I want to do something for me. I want to do something that when I go home at the end of the day, I feel happy. So I went through a divorce. I was struggling to pay my bills, and then I thought, okay, I got to reinvent the wheel. I got to do something for me. So I went from a tiny little shop to now, I think, probably having the best reviews for a microblading studio. I don't know how. Maybe it's
You're
because
so good.
Maybe it's because how I treat my clients. But if you want to change your life and change your career, I'm telling you, you're gonna make the right decision, and that's all I gotta say.
I agree. Choosing permanent makeup for me was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah,
because I could have easily just stayed with facials or transitioned to more hands-on permanent makeup, and I love it. I think it's awesome. Casey, you're up.
I feel like I'm a mix of maybe a little bit of what everybody's been going through. I felt like once I got back and I was working on skin, I took a little bit, probably too much of time off when I got back. But then when I jumped into it, I just felt like everything probably wasn't clicking, There's certain things, and then like when we got back here, when we were when I was doing that model and I'd been on the wrong side, and it was just like, oh yeah, no wonder it's been so awkward at home.
You,
yeah,
like we show you 3, 4, 5 times what side to sit on and how to do it, but when you get home, you're like, okay, wait, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so sometimes you just need that refresher or
confidence.
Oh yeah.
It's confidence. It's like they said, you've got your foundation, but it's just hearing it again and just kind of being told you're on the right track.
because something as little as depth,
Oh, yeah.
1 tiny millimeter.
I
makes
didn't
a huge
understand that
difference.
until we stretched it and we kind of
And you see it, and you see like it's the little details that matter.
because you're so nervous. The refresher is life-saving.
It is awesome, huh?
Yeah.
It's
It's amazing.
oh my gosh, it saved me. Like
Good.
it saved,
And I think
I feel like it saved my career.
it's like the boost of confidence too, like I was saying earlier, that you think that you're doing everything right, but everything was, you learn so much so fast, and so then coming back here and having you tell us, that's what you're doing right, it's just like, whew,